Plymouth had won 2-0 at Wimbledon to knock the First Division side out of the Rumbelows Cup in midweek, but they found Wednesday in a different class altogether. Phil King's cross from the left turned back in by Trevor Francis, and Danny Wilson launching himself horizontally to put Wednesday one up as early as the 3rd minute. Wilson judged by some experts to be the bargain buy of the summer, and certainly started the season well for Wednesday. That's Carlton Palmer, a return pass from Paul Williams, and that's almost exactly where Palmer put a shot last week at Bristol, just off target, just too high to the right. That's a more familiar side to Wilson's game than diving headers, winning the ball from Mark Fiore. Roland Nielsen involved in the move, Wilson again, Nielsen again, flowing football from Wednesday. Trevor Francis playing his first home league game of the season. The ball left by Williams for John Sheridan. 2-0 to Wednesday, just before half-time. And the 3rd goal came on 63 minutes. Worthington sending Carlton Palmer away down the left. He really did cover every blade of grass, as he seems to do every week. And cool finishing indeed. 2nd goal of the afternoon for John Sheridan. And Palmer this time cropping up on the right wing. Support from Nielsen, who's always happy to come forward and support the attack. There he is. And you're about to see a cracking volley from Phil King, and brilliant reactions from Wilmot, keeping the final score at Sheffield Wednesday 3, Plymouth 0. Wednesday's wonderful start to the season was recognised yesterday. Ron Atkinson getting the Manager of the Month award. But he'd have been even more pleased with events half an hour after the kick-off. Trevor Francis, who kept his place despite David Hurst's return from injury, involved in the move that led to Paul Williams beating the defenders and putting Wednesday a goal ahead. Nigel Worthington finding the overlapping fullback Phil King. And a fine save by Wood. Worthington again finding space in that penalty area with some regularity, but this time just off the target. Then a Port Vale fullback involved in an important move. Mills finding Porter, who does very well to regain his feet, and finds the unmarked Colin Gibson, doing exactly what he did to Hull recently, stealing in unseen, scoring a vital goal. Wednesday, though, had more of the attacking play, and another fine save here by Wood, whose reactions were excellent on the day, that time foiling Paul Williams from close range. Another attacking fullback move, again it's King involved, a miscue, and Parkin just getting the vital header above Williams to keep the final score at Sheffield Wednesday 1, Port Vale 1.
1, Sheffield Wednesday 1, and what a cracking derby. Barnsley's goal looking the match winner, an Owen Archdeacon cross, everyone up, and that man Andy Rammell heading home his 5th of the season. But in the dying minutes, Carlton Palmer headed the equaliser from a Paul Williams cross, and a point was saved for Wednesday. It was action from the start, Jerry Taggart's early header being cleared frantically off the line. At the other end, Nigel Pearson was in action, a low shot saved by keeper Clive Baker. Their next Leeds favourite, John Sheridan, sent a long-range shot just wide. But Barnsley pushed back, and a cross-goal shot by Brendan O'Connell was clawed down by Pressman, before that late goal action sent the 23,000 crowd wild with excitement.
Sheffield Wednesday began confidently at Millwall, Phil King overlapping down the left, David Hurst's header. There have been suggestions that Wednesday might leave out Hurst, their top scorer. After 16 minutes, they were doubly glad they hadn't. John Sheridan playing a 1-2 with Paul Williams. Hurst has made the run, and an emphatic finish. Wednesday on course for another afternoon, showing their opponents how to play. It didn't turn out quite like that. Jimmy Carter pulled back a goal just before the hour, and with Roland Nielsen stretched off, the Wednesday defence lost its shape and the match. 62 minutes, Teddy Sheringham sending Carter away down the right. The defence is stretched, and Sheringham arrived to finish the move he started. The other winger, O'Callaghan, was in at the start of the goal that gave Millwall the lead with 2 minutes left. Malcolm Allen did the rest. Millwall, 5th at start of play, seemed to decide it's time for bed. And Wednesday are staring their first defeat of the season in the face. In injury time, Alex Ray completed their misery. It finished Millwall 4, Sheffield Wednesday 2.
Great day. There'll be a massive crowd here. Perfect playing conditions. Yeah, should be a smashing game.
Yes, a visit to Sheffield Wednesday means a big day for Joe Royle's Oldham too. But he has something else on his mind. His old club Everton want him as their manager. Oldham last season were the noblest of nearly men. A Wembley defeat in the Littlewoods Cup final was followed by heroic failure in the FA Cup semi-final, and they subsided exhausted in the promotion race. It all ended in tears for Wednesday too. They hadn't thought it possible, but 5 defeats out of 6 brought despair, disbelief and relegation. When it means this much to the fans, the team have to get it right. And this season, they have. Both Wednesday and Oldham, the leaders, have been gracing the second division with football worthy of Division 1.
Sheffield Wednesday, things not going too well for Swindon at the moment, and Nigel Pearson getting a Wednesday goal there. That gives them a home tie in the next round against Derby County.
For Sheffield Wednesday to rediscover the art of winning in the second division. John Sheridan the first to test Swindon goalkeeper Fraser Digby. Despite Ron Atkinson's public warning that there may be changes, the team was pretty much as usual. Wilson's corner bringing a header from Nigel Pearson. That was blocked, his second chance deflected for a corner. It looked like being the old story of missed chances. Wilson and Williams the next to open the way for a clear-cut David Hurst header, saved again by Digby. But Wednesday duly got their reward 9 minutes before half-time. Wilson and fullback John Harkes worked the flank well, and Carlton Palmer was probably the only man on the field who would have got over the cross, which left Paul Williams a simple header. Williams, whose place had been under most threat from Trevor Francis, scoring his first goal in 7 matches. The second half was a similar story. Chances came and went, the best inadvertently presented to Hurst, again foiled by Digby. Hurst hasn't found the net in 5 matches now. He keeps plugging away though, but this is one of those spells when the ball just won't go in. Danny Wilson knows the feeling too. It wasn't until the 70th minute that Wednesday's pressure eventually produced a second goal, Worthington's free kick causing panic, and Pearson, who'd threatened to add to his season's tally of 5 all afternoon, scored against Swindon for the second time in less than 2 weeks. With the points in the bag, Wednesday perhaps just relaxed, and the last move of the game brought some consolation for Swindon. Bodin pulling the ball back for Irish international Alan McLaughlin to make the final score, Sheffield Wednesday 2, Swindon Town 1.
In Division 2, Ron Atkinson was booed to his seat on his first trip to the Hawthorns since leaving West Brom for Atletico Madrid 2 years ago. And within 21 minutes, his Sheffield Wednesday team were a goal down. McNally's volley comes back off the bar. Gary Robson takes full advantage. Wednesday's best chance to equalise before the break fell to David Hurst, but at the moment, the goals just aren't going in for him. 6 blank games now. You get the feeling some unfortunate defence might soon suffer for it. In this game, West Brom suffered for trying to sit on their lead. They probably thought they got away with it, still 1 up with 4 minutes left. Not so. Ron Atkinson had thrown Trevor Francis into the fray. He'll be glad he did. The former England man never used to think of himself as a super sub, but what a valuable signing he's proved. And there was more. The other man returning to the Hawthorns, Carlton Palmer, flicked on a corner for Peter Shirtliff. And look at the reactions. After all the frustrations of recent weeks, Atkinson's army is on the march again. West Brom 1, Wednesday 2.
Francis was recalled to Wednesday's starting lineup and fashioned the opening goal in the 14th minute. A perfect cross for David Hurst to head his 12th of the season. Ron Atkinson's boys, aiming for an immediate return to Division 1, should have been 2 up. Francis to Wilson, but Shilton equal to that. Guess who rescued Derby? Dean Saunders has done it once or twice now. Dramatic stuff as well. Briscoe against the bar. Micklewhite's shot turned against the post eventually, but there was Saunders from close range to force a replay at the baseball ground.
Third place Sheffield Wednesday play 7th place Notts County. John Helm watching.
If you're wondering why Sheffield Wednesday are not playing in their customary blue and white stripes at home, it's because there was total confusion before the kick-off. Notts County arrived with their black and white striped strip. The referee said they couldn't play in that. He then insisted that they couldn't either play in their alternative of blue, and so Wednesday have had to change, with Notts County reverting to their original strip. And what a start, and here is Trevor Francis for them, swinging the ball across, and the first-minute header goes wide and is a corner kick. Came in from David Hurst. Wednesday seeking here to maintain an unbeaten record at Hillsborough. Now, to do so, they must start to convert a greater percentage of the chances they're creating, and they've already taken this corner, which Worthington now pumps across. And the referee looks and gives the penalty in the very first minute. What a start! Don O'Riordan complains to referee Hemley, but he had no doubt. We've also had a change of referee today, so it's all happened in the very first minute. And that was where the push happened. Well, there were two pushes. The second one on Francis. The first one spotted by Mr. Hemley, who was taken over from the original official Brian Stevens. And so John Sheridan, in the first 60 seconds, can give Sheffield Wednesday the lead. It's 1-0 Wednesday. Sheridan's first goal, funnily enough, since we were here last, and he scored 2 from the penalty spot against Oldham. Tucked away, it couldn't have been easier. Turner. Well robbed by Sheridan. Pressman having to come off his line to clear the ball, and he might have been better advised actually to put it to one of his players. This could be a dodgy one for Pressman. Well, that was certainly thrilling. He didn't really want it to happen like that. There is always that danger, though. Pressman really stretched. Well, he had to scuttle back into his net, and that would have been a fearful moment for him had it gone in. Good direction. Good header from Regis. That's well turned on to Bartlett. He's in the clear here. Kevin Bartlett with a chance to finish it off for Notts County. Pressman saves, and the ball booted away by Sheridan, but that's the closest County have come through Kevin Bartlett. It's a delightful pass from Turner, which opened up the way. The one thing about County is they have so much pace up front, and Kevin Bartlett got clear of the defence there and hammered it straight at Pressman. It's good to see Kevin Pressman being able to stretch. Obviously, there's nothing wrong with his back now. He was out of the game for some considerable time with a back injury, and he's been improving its condition by regular swimming exercises. Oh, Francis, his trickery beat Yates, and then he's hauled back. And Francis had got goal side of the defender, who hauled him back. But he's got away with just conceding the free kick. Can Wednesday get anything from it? Oh, at the back post, Hurst, and it's 2-0. And David Hurst is on the mark again. That is a typical poacher's goal. I was just saying that Wednesday could do with a second before the break. Worthington's free kick, and although Pearson couldn't get there, there was no stopping David Hurst at the back post. And goal number 13 of this season, which is turning out to be memorable for Hurst and Wednesday, gives Wednesday a 2-goal cushion. Second half underway here at Hillsborough. Sheffield Wednesday 2, Notts County 0. But Notts County's Regis immediately getting in the header, and King under pressure clearing. Good turn from Regis. He's been quite impressive as David Regis, if anybody has on this County side, and the way open for Harding's shot. Straight through to Pressman, driven in that time by O'Riordan. Don O'Riordan, battle-hardened. So many clubs, including Grimsby, of course. Looks as though he's been in a bit of a battle today as well. As Wednesday sweep it left to Worthington. Kings making advancement down the left. Turner trying to get Draper moving. Worthington will have to concede the corner though. And a stirring start to the second half from County. Turner takes their corners. Driven towards the penalty spot. Ooh, and is that a penalty for handball? It looked like it to me. It certainly looked like a handball to me. Now John Harkes and Peter Shirtliff have gone to suggest that the Wednesday player was pushed into it. He took an awful long time to say penalty, but I must admit I thought there was a hand in there. Well, this is quite extraordinary. The first half we had a penalty in the first minute. In the second half we've got one in the second minute. That was where it happened. In any event, County have got their chance now for Draper to make it 2-1. And it's whacked into the net. No problem at all for Mark Draper. County have got their goal at the start of the resumption. And just like Sheridan's, it was with consummate ease. Oh, Wilson put the first header in, and now he sprints on trying to get onto the end of the second one. Short, can't pass it back, and Palmer's won it from him. Francis calling for it in the middle. Trevor Francis turns, and he was denied by a strong tackle from Palmer. Otherwise, he'd have been on the score sheet. In goes Hurst, header over the top. County almost caught out in defence there. Played back in, and David Hurst climbing very, very high indeed. Powerfully done. They're onside here, and Worthington had to defend heroically almost then. Plays it square, and they're not getting the ball out of the danger region really. But Francis now, the nice little header, does so. But Sheridan's pass was weak, and Regis goes on against King. He's got the skill as Regis to turn defenders and hammers it across, and they've got an equaliser from Bartlett, have they? The referee, I think, is going to say no. The referee has awarded Wednesday a free kick. County thought they were back on level terms. Regis will always pose problems because of his speed, and he really has a tussle with Phil King here. Gets inside the defender and then plays it across for Bartlett to push it in. And the County fans were asking what was wrong with that. Francis waits for Worthington to assist him maybe here. Nicely done. Worthington's ball through the middle for Carlton Palmer. It'll come down to Francis again, and play continuing. Oh, and a lovely slide rule pass to Sheridan. Only one man up. It's gone beyond the keeper. Wilson could have finished it, but the keeper saved with his foot. Danny Wilson denied. All credit to Steve Cherry. That would have rounded it off. It was beautiful work down the left there between Francis and Sheridan. A teasing cross as well. Cherry couldn't get to that, but my word, he got to the block from Wilson. And at the other end, County have got their equaliser. Kevin Bartlett. He takes the hand clap, and County a level at 2-2. He was denied earlier in the half when he put the ball into Wednesday's net, but an infringement already committed saw the goal ruled out. It's not ruled out this time, and County are right back in it. There it is, across the face of Pressman, into that near side. 2-2 it is, and Bartlett strikes. They've come back from 2 down. His 6th of the season. Francis called for it and made a good run. Well, there's nobody in any space at the moment, but it's Francis who collects it. Oh, does really well getting the ball back. Here it is. Shirtliff's up there for the header. Here's Hurst, and it was a good blocking tackle from Yates that time. Wednesday come looking for a winner inside the penalty area, beaten away though by the combined efforts of Bartlett and Thomas. Yet another throw to come. So constant pressure from Wednesday now in the closing moments. They need a tangible reward though.
Palmer couldn't get there. Wilson to try and ply the cross, and it's a good one as well. Williams back post out as far as Draper, who'll just hoop it anywhere. It's the final whistle though, and an entertaining game here at Hillsborough. Notts County perhaps derived greater satisfaction than Wednesday. The home side led at half-time 2-0 thanks to Sheridan's first-minute penalty and David Hurst's goal in the last minute of the half. But County have fought their way back into this one to get a point with goals. The second one there from Kevin Bartlett after Mark Draper's penalty had made it 2-1. 2-2 though is the final score at Hillsborough.
But my lads don't believe how good they can be. People have said we're long ball merchants, etc. And you tend to forget that we can play football. We have got a lot of young lads, some non-league players and everything else. And you just have to make sure that they believe exactly what I believe they can do. And I believe we could be a match for anybody in the division.
You've still won more matches away from Hillsborough. Is that because other teams are lifted here, do you think?
Possibly, but really we're not looking at those for excuses. We're very critical of ourselves today and very disappointed with ourselves.
More Don West in search of vital promotion points, and being a West Country boy, no one was keener to impress than Trevor Francis. His lovely pass sent David Hurst scampering towards the Bristol City goal. Then an intelligent delay while support arrived, and it was Danny Wilson timing it to perfection for a goal to make up for all those recent near misses. That was in 6 minutes, too early for 12 coachloads of fans stranded on the motorways. Some of them, though, did arrive in time for City's equaliser. David Smith going down the left, whipping in the cross, and unfortunately for Wednesday, Peter Shirtliff left his own goalkeeper Kevin Pressman clutching thin air. The blizzard had arrived at Ashton Gate with a vengeance, but it didn't knock Wednesday out of their stride, and after another sweeping move, again involving the impressive Hurst, Wilson was there only for the shot to skid the wrong side of the upright. Bristol, under the management of Joe Jordan and now Jimmy Lumsden, is a home for Yorkshire Old Boys. There were 8 of them in yesterday's lineup, and former Huddersfield winger Junior Bent made the running for ex-Leeds striker Bob Taylor, whose first touch let him down. Bristol City 1, Sheffield Wednesday 1.
David Hurst has scored 13 for Wednesday, still third in the second division, although losing touch with West Ham.
And so epic at Hillsborough. Wednesday took the lead against Wolves.
Back on the winning trail, David Hurst finishing a move which began inside the Wednesday half. But how's this for an equaliser? Why play with 11 men when 2 will do? Guy Whittingham was the scorer. Hurst again made it 2-1, though the fact that keeper Alan Knight had broken a bone in his left hand a few minutes earlier didn't ease Portsmouth's plight. Bottom place.
Sheffield Wednesday went ahead through David Hurst's 20th goal of the season at Middlesbrough, who've waited 31 years for a home win on New Year's Day, and they're still waiting. Paul Williams wrapped it up for Wednesday.
Wasted no time at Mansfield, a corner, and Peter Shirtliff's header does the rest. Mansfield's best chance fell to Christie in the first half, but Turner covered it well. Another chance coming up for Wednesday. Carlton Palmer was outstanding on Saturday. He turns Charles inside out. Danny Wilson's header well saved, and then his shot blocked by Clark. Second half, Palmer clear again, and his cross leads to the penalty, which sealed it for Sheffield Wednesday. Not much doubt about that one either. John Sheridan. No mistake, it's Millwall next in round 4 away.
Sheffield Wednesday had a reshuffled team at Watford. Among the changes, Paul Williams was recalled to the attack in place of Trevor Francis, and he could have given Wednesday an early lead. At the back, Peter Shirtliff had gone down with the virus, so Steve McCall came into midfield with Carlton Palmer switching to centre-back. The result, too much space for Watford and a goal for Gary Penrice on 14 minutes. Wednesday, of course, were playing their 4th big game in 10 days after making progress in both major cup competitions. Watford had had 2 weeks' rest. A minute from half-time, Drysdale's cross for Paul Wilkinson, and Shirtliff was being badly missed. Wednesday was staring their first league defeat since November the 10th in the face, but they'd already come back 4 times from 2 goals down this season, and they clearly believed they could do it again. Williams' pass, John Harkes. the first league goal for the United States World Cup player. Corner to Wednesday, 10 minutes left, taken by McCall. Now, is that a foul by the goalkeeper on Anderson? The referee says no. Wednesday play on. McCall again. Pearson, Williams, his 10th goal of the season. Watford 2, Wednesday 2.